In this video I demonstrate the system for dissipation of fog. Also this system can be used to produce fresh water from fog. The experiments were conducted at the Institute of Experimental Meteorology in the big aerosol chamber at volume of 3,200 cubic meters. The system for dissipation of fog consists from a group of electrostatic filters in special configuration to which is applied voltage to about 50 kV. The electric power of each element of the system doesn't exceed 200 watts, and due to this small power of source voltage is not represent dangerous for life. In this experiment, periodically switches a high voltage source. This situation create the ion wind with a velocity of about 1.5 meter per second, and all air passing through the filter is completely cleared from fog. The water, collected in this process, can be used for any purpose. We are beginning to experiment. A high voltage is switched on. A high voltage is switched off. A high voltage is switched on. A high voltage is switched off. A high voltage is switched on. In the demonstrated experiment, the optical density changes by more than 5 times, from 3 units which characterized absolute lack of transparency in test zone to good transparency which characterized less than 1 unit of optical density. A high voltage is switched off. The system of this type can be used to increase the visibility on large road sites, airports, zones of customs clearance, etc. A high voltage is switched on. The system have a relatively small power consumption and can operate in a fully autonomous mode, with the periodic charging from solar cells. Electrodynamics principle which underlies this method is the only principle applicable for dissipation of warm fog. There are no other ways of influence on the warm, since in the conditions of atmospheric pollution, the hydrophilic aerosol particle become the center of condensation of water. This installation can be effectively used for cleaning atmosphere. Because purification, the obtaining water can be realized much more simple compared to purifying the air, produced water can be used at least for technical purposes. A high voltage is switched off. The quantity of produced water naturally depends from the density and water content in the fog, and the parameters of the electrical power of this system. However, this amount is large enough, for example during the experiment from only one section of the electrostatic precipitator is obtained about half a liter of high purity water. In conclusion of this experiment, I want to demonstrate the effect of ion wind. As seen in the illustrated video, the wind speed even from a small section of the electrostatic precipitator reaches half a meter per second, and the air plume is spread over a distance of 10 meters. Because in a situation of sustainable fog the velocity of winds rarely exceed a few meters per second, electrostatic systems, located on both sides of the road, can effectively clean the whole work area. A high voltage is switched on. Thus the presented prototype of the system is characterized by the following parameters. 1. Effectively increases the visibility in the warm fog and can be used in critical areas of roads, airports, freight terminals, etc. 2. To serve as a source of fresh water in arid areas. The purity of the treated water meets purity of the fog. 3. To serve as an effective cleaning system in situations of smog and fog formed from smog. This presentation is over. Thank you for your attention.